Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 1:02 p.m. here in Chicago, Illinois. Sorry, I'm running a little bit late. Frankly, I'm still having a hard time getting used to this new time. I apologize that I'm putting it on you guys too to adapt to the new time, but I'm also adjusting to the new time. So I got a little bit of late start, and then I had some technical difficulties with the Wi-Fi. So hopefully we're going to be doing okay in here with a Wi-Fi stream. But if it starts to get a little bit funky, I am having some problems with it. So hopefully it'll be fine. How are you guys doing today? Today, it is like very overcast. It was raining a little bit during my run today. Fortunately, it wasn't too terrible, so I was able to get it done. But it was a wet day out there. But now it's just overcast and kind of gloomy and dreary. Hopefully, the weather is better where you guys are. Everyone on the podcast version doing all right? Hope you guys are having a good run in the audio only version, and everyone watching this on YouTube after the fact. Welcome to you guys as well. All right. Let's see who we got here. Let's see. G, no days off, says, yo, liking the new time. Hopefully, I mean, I know it's inconvenient for some people, but hopefully we'll still be able to capture a lot of people, maybe introduce some new people to the live stream. So, yeah. Martha says, hated to miss the fun and games yesterday, but had a conflict. And back today. Well, it's good to see you here, Martha. Welcome back. And it says, hey, Kofuzi and everybody, a zone 2. Sorry about that. That's the computer going nuts with notifications. And it says, hey, Kofuzi and everybody, a zone 2, 4 miles with Pip after work today, after mountain biking last night, and a busy Monday night made for tired legs. Not about this new live stream time. Yeah, it's taken some time to get used to for me, for sure. JC says, howdy, just stopping by. We'll try to come back before I finish up. Have fun. All right. Hopefully we'll see you again later. And yeah, Rainrunner says, Martha, thanks for letting me know about the time changes. Sorry, Rainrunner. Yeah, it's going to take some time to get used to, I think. But I mean, we'll see. It's still hard for me to kind of figure out if this is working, like for the main reasons that I wanted to switch, because my daughter is still feeling like kind of a little bit not great. So she's still been missing some school, and my wife's taking her to the allergist today. So I was going to take her to the allergist, but you know, it's not that it's serious, but like when my wife thinks it's serious, then I'm no longer allowed to be the one to communicate with the healthcare provider. She doesn't. I think that in healthcare jargon, I would be described as a somewhat unreliable historian, because sometimes I'm just not good at remembering like everything that went on in terms of her symptom progression, or if it's the baby, or in terms of exactly what medicines we are or aren't giving her. So my wife is like, I think she's like, I got to step in. So she's taking her to the doctor later today. Hopefully the allergist will have some more answers for us. All right. Luis Becerra says, yo, what's going on? What's going on, Luis? And Raynor says, all moved in, doing a lot of cross training, box lifting. Nice. I got a lot to unpack. Yeah, I'm moving. I dislike moving. I moved around a lot growing up, and I just never liked it. I still don't like it. Although I've been living here in this place. We've been living here since 2007. So it's been like 14 years. My wife and I are pretty convinced that we have lived in this building the longest of all the residents here. Because before 2007, this building was apartments. And we know that because we used to live in this building when it was apartments only. That would have been 2005, I think. We lived much higher up. We had a nice lake view. It was nice. But now, and then in 2007, when the building went condo, we decided to buy a unit. We moved in that year. And we haven't moved out yet. Everyone else, though, that I think that I remember from like the initial kind of like conversion buy, I think they're all gone, except us. We're the last ones. All right. Let's see here. He says, hey, can't wait for the 50K trail race vlog. I've done some 50K trail races and have an idea what you might be getting into. Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to progress kind of like it's going to be a bit of a train wreck, I anticipate. I'm walking into a buzzsaw for sure. And I think it's not going to be that different from Seth's. When was Seth's last like ultra race that he did? I mean, I know he's been doing some mountain racing, but like, was it 100K or was it 100 mile? I don't remember what race it was, but he started out great. He was with the leaders, and then he just started trailing. And then I'm not sure. I don't remember what exactly it was, but he ended up doing a lot of walking. It was emotional. It was a little bit messy. And I have a feeling that's going to happen to me, because I was just walking into this thing saying like, I'm sure I'll be fine. and I'm positive that I'm underestimating it. But there's not much more, I guess, that I can do. I did a Google search for like the best hills or like the hilliest parks in the Chicago area. And like all the ones that they gave me were somewhere out in like there's Bussy Woods. And then there's the Palos Forest Preserve out there. Those are kind of close to each other. And then the other thing was like something out in McHenry County, which is far. It was like 80 miles away. And I'm just like, that's a little bit long even for a Saturday run. So I don't know. I think I'm just going to end up doing a lot of the stairs in my building. That might be it. But I'll wait till I think I'll add some more mileage next couple of weeks, and then once we get real close, then we'll start doing some stairs. But in the meantime, I have been taking the stairs more. All right, Albert says, still enjoying my morning cup of Joe. 11 a.m. here in Vancouver. Nice. Yeah, see, like I think this will be a lot nicer for Monday mukbang. And yeah, I was thinking I just made a plate of food and I kind of forgot about the time. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll just eat on the live stream today. But no, I'll eat afterwards. Kevin Bickerton's here. What's going on, Kevin? Good to see you again. All right. Jan is here. Says hi, everyone. And Leona says, hi, Co. Hi, friends. Early runners do get the best views, Mike. Saw a full moon, a wild turkey, deer, rabbit, and snow/frost on a 7-miler today. Wow, that's quite an adventure. Wild turkeys are scary animals, I will say. I've seen some wild turkeys running in Iowa, and it's always kind of like, what is this thing doing here? What does it want? Why is it by me? I don't know why, but the large birds intimidate me quite a bit. Oh, but that's great. Yeah, and the early runners do get the best views. I put out a tweet yesterday, just capturing some, not me in the footage, just some footage as I was running along the lakefront, and it's just we've been getting some nice views here in Chicago, even though the weather's been a little bit. It's been like yesterday was hot. The day before that, it was nice during the day, but during my run, it was chilly. This morning, it was like 45 degrees and raining, so like pretty gross. But interspersed between some of those gross days is some beautiful views. So I can't complain. Frank says Japan has only 1% vaccinated. Are the Olympics happening or not? I don't know. I don't know anything. I haven't talked to my sister about it, and I wouldn't ask my sister, nor could she probably give me any information if she had it. But I just don't know how they could do it, especially with everything that's going on in India right now. Like, I just think that global travel is a terrifying idea. So I don't know, but like how, I don't know how you can not have it. On the other, it makes me think, like, can we push it another year to make it to 2022? I don't understand why that'd be that terrible. I think that like some of the Olympic committees might have to rethink some of their, I don't know. Like selections have been made and stuff. People are on teams already. So I'm not sure how that would work, but it just seems to make more sense to me that maybe it gets pushed to 2022. But that's really hard. Like just the idea of like the world's best athletes trying to maintain themselves on the razor's edge of their performance, to be able to compete on a world stage, and then trying to like, there's an art to peaking, and to kind of like do that for 2020, and then nope, not 2020. Let's do it again for 2021. Nope, and then do it again for 2022. That just sounds. I don't know, how good are the Olympics going to be at that point? Not to say that you shouldn't put them on, but I don't know. It's from my understanding, no one in Japan wants them over there, right? So I know those are the only people that would be able to spectate. But I don't know. Like Olympics don't really make monies for the host countries, it seems, from my understanding. But like, if you don't have them, like, just how much do you? That's got to be. There's money to be made or damage to be kind of like controlled, I guess. I don't know. It's a great. On the other hand, though, I feel like very optimistic about things in the U.S. and I'm just like, things are going great. I'm like, oh, but other places it's not. We gotta make sure we all come out of this together, All right, let's scroll down a little bit so I can catch up with you guys. All right. Philip says, good day, everyone. First post-LASIK run today. It was quite fun cruising through the woods at the nearby lake and seeing properly. Nice. I'm glad things are going well and that you're recovering quickly from the surgery. Awesome. Or from the procedure. All right. Parker Mack says, looking forward to the 50K. Decorah is such a beautiful town. I wish I could make it up there to help you film. Maybe one day. Yeah, I mean, yeah, awesome. I don't think I've ever been to Decorah. I've been to a lot of the small towns up in that area. I don't know that I've been in Winnebago County before, but like, what is it? Johnson County? Is that where Guttenberg is? I've been, Johnson, like in that area, there's like Strawberry Point, McGregor, Elkader, a lot of towns that are in bluffs, and also along the riverfront. Lots of beautiful little towns there. Decorah seems like a little bit bigger of a town than some of those that I just named. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to go. I'm trying to figure out what my exact weekend schedule is going to be. If I'm going to go and kind of spend the night at my in-laws' place, it's still 70 something miles away. The race starts at 6. So I'd have to be on the road at 4 o'clock just to be there with enough time to do race day bid pickup and stuff. So I'm assuming that's available, but actually I have to double check and make sure. So there is a hotel in Decorah, so we might stay there. I'm not sure. I have to figure all that stuff out, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It should be a lot of fun. I'm hoping, with some of the recent changes to the CDC guidelines, I'm hoping for a regular start and not a staggered start, like a time trial style. I want the whole bursting out of the corral, running with the bulls kind of feeling, if that's safe to do. I have a feeling that'll be safe to do. Well, I have a strong feeling in Decorah, Iowa, they'll feel like that's safe to do. I'm vaccinated. I'm ready. So I'll be ready to participate in that. I think it'll be weird, but still, I'm looking forward to it overall. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Robert Archuleta. Any relation to Adam Archuleta, the football player? All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. So the question is, what was my favorite beer from Iowa? My favorite beer is actually from that brewery in Decorah. Toppling Goliath makes a beer called, oh my goodness. What is it called? Well, they make Apex Predator and Pseudo Sue. It's a delicious beer, absolutely delicious beer. So, right? Do I have that right? I'm not misquoting who makes that, right? But I believe it's Toppling Goliath. They're in Decorah. I believe they make Pseudo Sue, which is a beer that they sell at the History Museum here in Chicago because there's a Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton and it's named Sue Tyrannosaurus. So they sell Pseudo Sue beer at the History Museum. You can't drink it there. You could take a full pack home. But that's probably my favorite Iowa beer. But Iowa has a lot of really great microbreweries. So anything fresh, is good. In Des Moines, is that near? I'm trying to think. Iowa River Brewing Company. I think that's where my brother-in-law used to be a bar. I don't know if he still bartends there or not. I don't know if that's no. I don't think that's that close. But there's a lot of really great microbreweries in the area. So whatever's pouring, that's what I'm drinking. All right. Martha says, "Isn't there a copy of the T-Rex skeleton in the Chicago airport? Is there? I'm trying to think. There could be. I don't know. I'm not sure." All right. Josh Greenberg says, "Hey, Co, I'm a high school sophomore. You might recognize my name by now since I kept hopping on. LOL. But do you think I should save up for Vaporflies for speed and tempos or go with something else?" Yeah, I mean, the Vaporflies are a solid choice. You're not going to go wrong. I think you're not going to go wrong with the Vaporflies. There are alternative options in there, but for For speed work and tempos, it depends on where you're doing your speed and what kind of speed work you're doing. For threshold running, I think it's great, but there's lots of great other options out there too. The Endorphin Speed, the Endorphin Pro, Adios Pro is my personal favorite. The Metaspeed Sky is also really high up on that list. So those are ones that are all great for threshold running. The only hesitancy that I have with Vaporfly is if you're doing speed work and it's on the track, then I'm not sure. I mean, lots of people run with Vaporflies on the track, but I'm not sure which super shoe I would want to run with on the track. And the Vaporflies are not the tallest anymore these days either. So it's probably a pretty good safe bet. You're not going to go wrong with it. So that's a good one. That's a good one. But if you're going to be doing a lot of that speed work on a track, then you can look at some other shoes that are a little bit lower in stack height. But are they better than the Vaporfly? Even though, I don't know. I'm not sure. The Vaporfly is a really good shoe. So I would say probably yes, Josh. Oh, and Josh says, I'm most concerned about durability. The Vaporflies for me, I thought were great for racing in up to 125 miles. And so after that, I probably, if I had 125 or up to 150 miles on it, I probably wouldn't be I could put these through another marathon race. But it depends on what you're using them for, because after that, I think you can get plenty of use out of a Vaporfly and an X% for your workouts, for those long runs. I think it's totally usable way past 125 miles. So it's a very good one. Another one that I think has a lot of durability is the Endorphin Pro. The Adios Pro, I just got it to 100 miles today. I'll be talking about that in tomorrow's video. But to tease it, I do think that it's a very durable foam. So I don't really feel like it's lost a step at all. So, but that one's also a pretty tall shoe. So that's another one. I can't say anything about the Metaspeed Sky yet, but when I was talking with ASICS, I was like, do you guys have a number? Because I wanted to see if there was some sort of ludicrous number on it, like Hyperion Elite 1, where they're it's good for 25 miles. And they were like, this is a product designed for racing. So the premium is on performance, not necessarily durability. And that's all that they would say. So I don't know kind of what the long-term durability is going to be about that. But if durability is a very high concern, then I would lean towards the Endorphin Pro. I think that that's going to last a lot longer than a Vaporfly would. All right. Sorry if I'm missing some of the chat. My internet dropped for a minute there. And so if you had a question and I haven't responded to it, I apologize to make you repeat yourself, but if you don't mind putting it in a second time, I'm sure I'll catch it the second time. All right. We got Joshua Payne says, I'm loving this new time. It's been too long since catching a live stream and haven't watched the New Balance versus Hoka vid yet, but looking forward to it. Both are atop my list of next shoes. Yeah. There's a lot of good shoes that have come out so far in 2021. I won't spoil it for you, Josh. But I do have for me, in my mind, there's a clear winner, and that shoe, I'm just really loving that shoe. And it seems like everyone else does too. So it's not I don't think I'm taking a risk by picking that shoe, but I've been really enjoying it. Urban Sandlander says, what would be the best shoe for flat foot, 4-foot runners and fast pace runs? I'm not sure. I'm trying to think. I would probably, if you're a flat-footed runner, I'd probably not go with some of the Nike shoes because they tend to have a taller arch. I don't really sense it as much in their racing shoes though, so you might be okay there, depending on what kind of fast pace. And you're saying fast pace, but not racing. Yeah, I would look at. I think the Fuel Cell TC. I felt did not have a very tall arch. I felt the Hyperion Elite did not have a very tall arch. I'm trying to think if the Adios Pro did not ever touch any of my arches, I felt at all. So those could be some good ones to look at. I'm trying to think about the Endorphin Pro. I think there's more of an arch in that one. So those would be some that I would look at. If anyone else is a flat-footed runner and you have experience with some of these racing shoes, let me know, because it's a question that I get from time to time, and I just don't always know how to answer it. Because sometimes, unless it's a really tall arch, I don't tend to notice it. I've been trying to like listen for it kind of, but it's definitely like a blind spot that I have. All right, looks like we got Dr. Josh in here. What's going on? Hopefully Colorado's treating you well. I've been enjoying all the new video content coming out of Colorado. All right. Let's see. All right, Drew Reed says, question about the 1080 version 11. I just bought these and picked them up from a store. The heel slip feels absolutely crazy. Do you ever consider an insert to secure the heel? No. I don't love inserts. I feel like they change the nature of the shoe quite a bit. And if they don't really need the insert, So that's the main reason I don't, just because I have a need to look at the shoe like as the shoe itself. So unless there's something really wrong with it, I try not to run with an insert. And I don't think that the heel slip for me in the 1080 is really, really wrong. I notice it for sure. Like every time I put it on, like, when I start out running in my warm up, I'm like, this is weird. Do I need to retie these? I don't think it's going to help if I retie these. So I have that kind of like debate in my mind for a good like half mile or so. After that, it kind of seems to go away. So like I would say, Drew, like try and like go for, stick with it for a little bit. But if after like 2 miles, it still feels like really uncomfortable for you, then you might either need to size down or exchange it for a different shoe. Just because it is a little bit of I don't know why it's like that. I don't think it's a break-in issue. I don't think like wearing in, like I've got about 50 miles in the shoe now. So I'm like, anything that's going to happen in the shoe better have happened by now. And so like, it's still there. I anticipate it'll always be there. Rainrunner coming in with some help on the flat foot issue. She says, I have a flatter foot and Nikes usually don't work for me. Yeah. I feel like so far of the Nike shoes, well, like the last couple of Nike shoes, the Peg Trail 2 and the Invincible, those the arches seem to be a little bit taller. So that I have noticed that. Josh says, Urban, I have flat and wide feet, a great combo. And the only carbon plated shoe I've tried is a Carbon X, and it worked well for me. Definitely don't get Nike. All right. Thanks for the help, Josh. And Philip says, the next percent 2 is fine with flat-ish arches. My right foot is a bit more flat than it should be, and the originals were a big no, but the next percent 2 work fine. All right. Good. Looks like they're shaving that down or working on it. Stevie76 says, do you know there's only 2 toilets on the ISS? There's 11 people up there now. There's 11 people in the, I guess I saw that one picture. There's just a bunch of people. What I think is amazing about that photo, I saw one photo of the ISS when like they docked and like the new crew or the 4 new astronauts and the other astronauts were there. I think there's 2 women on the station now. And it's funny, like the woman that had already been there, hair in a ponytail, like all tied up. And the other one, just like hair, just like floating all over the place. It's like, spot the newbie. I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, that's crazy. 2 toilets. How much privacy do you think there is in that toilet? Man, that's got to be like, I don't know. I mean, it's got to smell on that space station, right? The astronauts, my understanding is they're supposed to exercise for 2 hours a day to maintain muscle mass. And so I'm sure that doesn't mean they're going on like a 2-hour long run on a treadmill where they're like strapped in a little bit to simulate gravity, but they're got to be doing something. Maybe lift. I don't know if they're like, would they even lift weights? I don't know what kind of exercises one does for 2 hours on a space station, but 11 people, 2 hours of exercise a day. And then like, you're eating weird space food. That's got to do a number on your digestive system, right? It's just got to be the stinkiest place. I would say in the world, but it's not in the world. Stinkiest place in space. Probably it's also the best smelling place in space, I guess, in outer space, or I guess in near space. But I don't know. Oh man. Tom Jones says, Kofuzi, is the Mach 4 a big difference for a runner who has ever run in a Pegasus? I'd say it's a pretty big difference, but I would say of the shoes, like let's say you've been a Nike runner your entire life and you're trying to look at a Hoka, the 2 shoes that I would have you look at right now are the Mach 4 and the Rincon. I think those are the 2 shoes that I would have you look at. That would be like like still give you a Hoka feel, but aren't such a drastic change from what you're used to. Yeah. And it says Tim Peake ran a marathon on a treadmill in space. Oh man, there's like a whole nother level of like records that are available out there. I mean, they wouldn't be Guinness World Records; they'd be a Guinness Intergalactic Records, right? Or Guinness Solar System Records. But yeah, I mean, what was the? Oh, we gotta do Trivia Tuesday is gonna be about space next time. But man, Sue N says, turn away for 1 second and the chat goes to poop in space. Yeah, it turns quickly. Philip says, imagine your GPS track on Strava after going for a run on the ISS. I mean, you'd be going like 20,000 miles per hour, right? Or however fast. What's the speed in a geosynchronous orbit? Is the ISS is geosynchronous, right? I don't know. Actually, don't know the answer. But what's the speed on that? That's got to be pretty fast. Yeah, you'd have to pull off some Armageddon type of technology. We're bouncing a signal off of a Russian satellite, higher orbit. Something. What how did they get that signal in Armageddon? Yeah, that'd be pretty crazy. But like, what's the time on that marathon? I gotta know. Well, don't look at it. Don't tell me. We'll make it a trivia question for next week. Yeah. Jason Dahl says, could be worse. In the Apollo days, there were 0 toilets and pretty much 0 room to move around. So what did they do? You just had to like, I'm strapping on the bag, guys. Look away. I can't go when you're watching me. Like, is that what happened? Oh man, I used to be so obsessed with space when I was about my daughter's age. Yeah, I would just like, I remembered my dad would take me to the library, and I would take the max number of library books out from like the young readers kind of section. Not I don't want to say young adult, but like not like kids books, but like the age appropriate like section for me. And anything that was about space, I would or astronauts or I would borrow. Those are the books that I read. Always been fascinated. Oh, Leslie Clayton says, for what it's worth, my father-in-law was an astronaut and the food is actually not all that different, just shelf stable. Cool. Very cool. That's something that I want to get. I'm going to get more of that. Try to get more of that on that mukbang. Space food. Yeah. All right. Now I gotta, I'm going to see if I can buy some space food on Amazon, more space food on Amazon. Because we did the ice cream that one time, which I was underwhelmed. But yeah, I remember. Did you guys watch the coverage of the last shuttle launch? And they were like, there's a Frenchman in one of the astronauts, and they get to bring up something. And he decided to bring up from the space food beef bourguignon. And they would always try to say it very French. And I was like, I mean, this is a country that says croissant. So like, you don't have to say beef bourguignon. You can just say it the way Americans say it. But I thought that was pretty funny. And I was like, is that going to be good? Do you have to drink that out of a straw? Like, how do you just squeeze it out of a pouch and you just eat like bubbles of beef bourguignon? I don't know. I'm just so fascinated. I feel like they should have, just like a live stream, kind of like when they put a camera on like an eagle's nest and there's baby eagles about to hatch. I feel like we should have like, maybe not in the bathroom area, of course, but like in the workout area. What are the astronauts doing? Is there, maybe there is something like that. I don't know. I would love to see it. Drew Reed says, have you ever tried the Hoka Arahi 5? I have not. Is the Arahi a stability shoe? It is, right? Yeah. I don't think I'm not usually a big fan of stability shoes. So I steer away from them. Martha says, probably the olfactory molecules float up, so aren't as detectable. Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, there's clearly air because they're breathing, right? So like there's, the ability for smells to travel and propagate is there. Whether it be faster or not, I don't know. Is it drafty, in the space station? Like, is there a breeze constantly? But I don't, that's so many, I have so many questions. Namaste says about that marathon, did he actually run or just floated as the treadmill kept going? Yeah, I'm not sure how they do the exercise. I feel like it's the opposite of that stuff that Dr. Josh is working on. Dr. Josh is working on that. He's working with that company that does the treadmill thing where they lift you up a little bit. So that way it's not as much impact. So for people that are coming back from injuries or just trying to put less strain on the body while they're still doing their aerobic work, I think it would be the opposite where it kind of pulls you down. So you get the muscle load and the bone, and I think also the load on the bones. So that way you're not only your muscles, but so your bones don't not deossify, but like that's what makes your bones strong, is that they're responding to load. And if you don't have load, the bones will not be as strong. So I think that's one of the reasons that they want to make sure that they're still exercising every day. I just don't know what that looks like. Jay Pelican says the Arahi 4 is my go-to for dog walking. I don't know if you guys are serious when you guys say that, but I just love to hear which shoes you guys are using for mowing the lawn and which shoes you guys are using for dog walking. Yeah. Eric says, yo, new live stream time. Yeah, and we're going to try at least for this week. And we'll see if it continues to work. Doing 1 p.m. Central Time, it works out better for me and my other responsibilities, because then the live stream will end right at the time where my daughter gets done with virtual school for the day, so it should work out a little bit better. Kevin Bickerton says Sunita Williams was the first person to run a marathon in space. She ran alongside the Boston Marathon in 2007. What? That's amazing. Now that's a way to spend a Patriots Day. Crazy. All right, my mom's here. Hi, Mom. How are you? Hopefully things are going well. Runs like a donkey says they are vacuum sucked onto the treadmills. Well, so it's kind of like the other treadmills that I've seen where like there's something on your waist, and I don't know what they do, but it's like suctioned on, and then that is part of what makes it less impact. So I guess it's kind of similar to that, huh? I don't know. Amazing. I think we need more detail. I'm gonna do some research on that. I gotta figure that out. Cool. Adam Allred says, any shoe recs to rotate in? Currently just daily running in the Brooks Adrenaline 21 and the Ultra Olympus when I can make it out onto the trails. Yeah. So let's see. If you got a Brooks Adrenaline, I would say that I would look at another either like daily trainer for you, or if you're going to be doing some speed work, maybe something that you could do a little bit of speed work and some of your easy running in. One I would look at if you like the Brooks is, well, although the Hyperion Tempo is one I would look at just because I love that shoe. But it doesn't feel very Brooks-y, if that makes sense. So that could be one to look at. But also I think like the Brooks Launch would probably be a good choice, or the Brooks Ghost if you're really enjoying your adrenaline. The Brooks Launch also comes in a, GTS? There's a stability version. So if you need stability, that's another one that you could look at too. And that could be a really potent combo. So you have like the adrenaline, which is a little bit more cushion. And then you have one that's a little bit lighter weight, geared more towards shorter runs or some faster running. So that's kind of where I would look. For the Olympus, I haven't run in the Olympus before, but I mean, if trail running isn't like a primary thing, I don't think that you necessarily would need to have another shoe to rotate in. So I think if I'm going from 2 shoes to 3, I would probably look at like a faster, easy day shoe. And I think the Launch might be the first one I would look at for you. All right. Eric says, ran my first marathon on Sunday. Came in at 3:49:43. Awesome. Great work, Eric. He says, couldn't be happier with that. Well, what a fantastic result. Great job. My first marathon was like 4:40 something. So you beat me by almost an hour there. Awesome work. Awesome work. Not that it's a contest, but that's amazing. All right. Let's see. Casey's here, says, what's up? What's going on, Casey? All right, let's do a couple more, and then I do got to get going for today. Oh, I'm about to lose my camera up there. I forgot to charge the battery after filming last night. All right. Desi says, what's the difference between the Carbon X2 and the Mach 4? I mean, I think probably the easiest way to talk about these two shoes, or the most basic way, is to say one has a plate and one doesn't. So one could be your easy day shoe, and the other one could be your workout/race shoe. I think that they are a very good pair. The uppers have very, I would say, analogous fits. The X2 is a little bit more race tuned. So it's a little bit more snug, not quite as roomy as in the Mach 4, but the Mach 4 is going to be your everyday trainer, something that you're using for the vast majority of your runs for the week. They feel very similar in terms of the dynamics. So it's, you could see that there's like a siblingness to them. And I think that I love it when shoe companies can do that. And you're getting like a sensation of like brand cohesion, not just like, here's a smattering of shoes. So that's why I think that like one is like the trainer and one is the racer. So that's like the best way you can look at it. Some other more subtle differences are that I think the ProFly on the Carbon X2 is ProFly X, which is a little bit more firm. There's a little bit more of a firm and responsive feeling to it, a little bit less of the soft stuff to the Carbon X2. But both are really good for long runs. And the X2 is a fantastic racing shoe. So that's kind of how I would look at the difference between those two shoes. All right. I got to get going today, guys. I know I'm kind of a little bit short than normal, but I'm about to lose this camera. So I'm going to get going here. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about, for the video, I'll talk about the Adios Pro after 100 miles. And then we'll do another live stream. And tomorrow's going to be Thursday, right? So Thursday, we'll have bring your recovery beverage of choice. I got a whole bunch of new stuff that just came in, so I'm excited to dive into some of that. Hopefully, I'll see you guys then. It'll be the same time as today, 1 p.m. Central Time. I'll try to remember. I'm going to try to also put like the placeholder, the scheduling thing on earlier in the day and not so close to the live stream time, so that way everyone kind of has a better idea of when things are. So we'll get it. We'll get there, guys. All right. Thanks everybody for bearing with me as we make the adjustment, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. In the meantime, be safe out there.